Round 9 and back to Oulton Park in Cheshire. And if you want to win the BSB Championship, consistency is the key. You've got to stay on your bike.
Championship standings then as we go into today's race. Gregorio Lavilla, his lead is down to 11 points from Leon Haslam and Ryoichi Kianari. Shane Byrne up to 4th now. Carl Harris, Jonathan Ray, Michael Laverty and Tommy Hill are our top 8. But we could have some changes in today's race. There's no doubt about it. Gregorio Lavilla is under pressure. In 9th place, Michael Rutter, he too not having a happy time at the moment on the Stobart bike. Scott Smart, Glenn Richards, Dean Thomas still injured, and our thoughts go to Dean. He will return, of course. Craig Coxall, Ben Wilson, Gary Mason and James Hayden, likewise injured after that Dean Thomas, James Hayden crash at Snetterton, you'll remember, here on Sky Sports. Let's take a look then at the grid as they'll line up today. Carl Harris, his first ever Superbike pole, looking forward to his first ever Superbike win. Leon Haslam, Ryoichi Kianari and Jonathan Ray, 3 Hondas on the front row. Shane Byrne, the best of the Suzuki, in 5th. Tommy Hill, Michael Rudder and Gregorio Lavilla, only 8th quickest, 1.4 seconds slower than Carl Harris's pole time. We're under starters' orders. Jonathan Ray gets a good launch down into Old Hall for the first time. Who's it going to be? Ryoichi Kianari looks good. Yes, Kianari, superb. Harris slips in behind. No, he doesn't. Virgin Mobile Yamaha. That must be the Tommy Hill from 6th place on the grid. That is row 2. So Tommy Hill, great start from him to 2nd place. Haslam's there though. Haslam drops it across the nose as they come to Cascades for the first time. Leon Haslam on bike 91 goes straight into 2nd place, chasing Ryoichi Kianari. This couple of Superbike races, Tony Carter, could be about these 2 young men.
Yeah, absolutely, but Carl Harris, the pole position man, will be absolutely gutted. You can see him there, held up behind bike number 8. That's Tommy Hill on the red Virgin Mobile in bike 3, in 3rd position. He's been held up all the way around to Ireland, and Carl's just going to sit there now and watch Leon Haslam and Ryoichi Kianari at the front of this field try and make an early break. Leon Haslam was saying to me before the start of this race that he just had to hang on to the back of Kianari and then see what developed throughout the rest of the race. Well, game plan is going according exactly how Leon Haslam thought that early on.
Temperature is red hot here, trackside of course. It's a glorious day again. Thunderstorms yesterday, but it hasn't affected the way it is today. They've been out in warm-up, they've had a look at the track just to see if the surface has changed at all. There's Tommy Hill on the number 8 bike, being chased hard by Carl Harris. Carl Harris will be so keen to get past the Yamaha man, up and over Clay Hill for the first time now. They're not settling down that much. We're already on the run into the double right-hander, which is Druids. Kianari's been caught by Leon Haslam. Haslam is right there. This double right-hander as they move out under the Bailey Bridge, Warwick Bridge that is now, up towards... I hold my breath as we come to Lodge. We know Haslam is absolutely brilliant on the brakes. He's so good on the brakes. That Ducati's so stable. In and out of Deer Leap now. Wheeling, traction control, just stopping those motorcycles from going sideways or wheeling too much as they come out of the hill. Tommy Hill still in 3rd place on the 8 bike as they start lap 2. This is Old Hall. Down the avenue, just missing out from touching the grass there. On to Denton's and then this one, which is Cascades at the bottom here. A superb racetrack, Oulton Park. Absolute classic stuff here. Like you've said, Gregorio Lavilla is the one to watch, the championship leader at the moment. Down has gone Carl Harris. Carl Harris down on the deck. Well, the pole man is not going to win his first Superbike race from that position. Let's take another look at it. Just front end, just tucks underneath him. Well, that is so easily done. Of course, this racetrack is warm, but it's had a thunderstorm all over it, which will have changed its condition since they had qualifying honours, as Haslam gets great drive out of Druids and passes with ease down into Old Hall. Deer Leap next. And I think this is where the traction control on the Ducati works so unbelievably well here. Just pumps that bike along that little short straight down towards Old Hall corner now. Then the run down the avenue. Tommy Hill in 3rd place. Well, that 6th place qualifying position. Rob Mack was pretty happy with that. If you could tear him away from Hoylake up the road. He's been golfing all week, I think, watching the Oulton that's there at the moment. Only down the road, they're enjoying the weather too.
Tommy Hill, you're seeing a masterclass now in that style of riding. He hasn't got any traffic around him. Nobody's immediately in front of him to slow him up mid-corner. And he's making the most of that by banging in a new lap record. That's phenomenal stuff from Tommy Hill.
Now we come through Britons and we'll get some idea on just how close that Yamaha is the pace as they come over Hilltop. You know, I don't think that Yamaha's...
It's not bad.
I don't think it's bad at all, you know. I'm not sure it's... Tommy Hill and the Pirelli's might like the middle of the corner speed. Be interesting to see now how these three tyre manufacturers, Dunlop leads Michelin, leads Pirelli. We've not had that in the British Superbike Series, that's for sure. So these three guys absolutely right on it. Different manufacturers, different motorcycles. Ducati, Honda and Yamaha, as only the poleman can sit and look. Different styles of rider, different styles of men, and there goes Chianari through then at his. He likes it in the chicane. That four-cylinder Honda just punches that little bit extra out of the slower speed corners than the twin-cylinder Ducati at the moment. Up and over Clay Hill now. In third place, it is still Tommy Hill, but he's coming under pressure now from Gregorio Lavilla. Lavilla is closing in, but it's Ryuichi Chianari back out front, and we wait with bated breath just to see what kind of time that Chianari is going to do as he goes across the line. Look at this, though. Lavilla lining up Tommy Hill for a pass on the brakes down into Shell. Oh, yes, thank you very much. I'll have that. Pulls it back down to the apex. Great stuff.
Clean, crisp, professional, everything you would expect from Lavilla when his head's right. I would definitely go along with what you were saying earlier on, though, Keith, about Lavilla's head. He seems a little bit more up for it before this race. He's got his spring back in his step. At Knock Hill, it was not there. He was very deflated and just couldn't seem to get his head up for the race at all.
Haslam's going to be lucky to hang on, and another quickest lap. It's another lap record, this time for Chianari. Chianari now has the lap record again. Well,
oh, Tommy on the grass, just ran wide on the curb. Well, you can't fault the guy for trying, can you? He's given 110% out there if it's possible. And that man there, number 8 on the Red Virgin bike, Tommy Hill, definitely giving more than the bike was prepared to answer that time out on the grass. Luckily, not to any great
made a good job here of filling all the holes in now and putting that concrete patch on that you can ride out on if you want to. Still a bit slippery out there.
Tommy was still trying to
oh, there we go. Haslam makes a mistake and through comes Gregorio. So Haslam makes a minor mistake coming into Shell, and up the inside, the opportunist Spaniard sails up the inside, and Haslam goes back to third place. Gregorio Lavilla, what an imperious move from the Spaniard. He is relentless. He is not going to let this championship go to anybody without a fight. Take a look at this. He was miles back coming through Lakeside, and then Haslam just ran it up the hill a little bit, missed his braking point. Haslam is brilliant on the brakes, but that time he just left a bike's width big enough for Gregorio Lavilla to say, hola.
Well, Gregorio Lavilla now has one best part of 1.5 seconds to that man there, number 2, Ryuichi Chianari up front. If he can close this down, this is going to be nothing short of a miraculous comeback. I'm talking mentally, not just in the race, but a miraculous comeback for the Spaniard.
Glenn Richards. Glenn Richards, the Australian, the Hydrex Honda, that's a down and out job, isn't it? So Glenn Richards has gone down. Where was he? Out on the racetrack. But Haslam now aiming at his teammate. It's going to be something that he's going to be looking for. Ooh. It's early to go by, but Haslam has. Haslam goes back into second place on lap 12. Lavilla goes back to third. This is going to be a dogfight between these two. Colin Wright, well, I think he's got one remaining hair in the middle of his head. He's going to lose it. Johnny Ray, the quickest man out of these two on the racetrack at the moment. Shane Byrne, well, there's no doubt about it. Shane Byrne is a racer, as is Johnny Ray. So if he does manage to get past Shane Byrne, don't expect him to roll over and give it up, because he's not going to. 67 there. Chianari still leads. 3.5 seconds is his lead now. Haslam still in front of Lavilla as they come over the line. Oh, down another Hydrex Honda.
That's Tommy.
It is Tommy. It's not a Hydrex Honda, it's a Virgin Mobile Yamaha, because I saw the white side up, which is unusual. So Tommy Hill has been fighting with that bike. Tommy Hill has gone out. Let's take a look at this. Front end. Oh, no, high side, big one. Right off the side of that motorcycle. Just as he asked for the power on, that back end just stepped right round on him, and the bike is in the middle of the racetrack. That's a tough way to pick a bike up that way. I don't think he'll be doing that in a hurry without a bit of help. Right, now then, watch over Clay Hill here. Haslam will come into sight, quite shy of the white line, but you watch Lavilla. Right out. Didn't quite go over it that time round, just because I was talking about it.
It was probably the most conservative line he's taken around there all race.
Yeah, but he's lining himself up. We're on the last lap. Byrne is in front of Ray still, I can tell you. We're looking at the race leader all the way over Clay Hill. Through Druids. Now, Chianari, as we look back towards Clay Hill to see whether it's Haslam or Lavilla still there. Second and third places, it is the two Ducatis, but which order? Haslam, I'm sure, has it still. Yes, he does. Leon Haslam is going to get second place. That's going to upset the points even further. Chianari closes in then on this Bennett's British Superbike Championship. Haslam takes a fine second place. Gregorio Lavilla damage limitation, but I just wonder whether he had the taste for it. Byrne comes over for 4th place. 5th place with Johnny Ray. It's a good ride from Johnny Ray, but he was up against ex-MotoGP star Shane Byrne. He wasn't going to let him have it, that's for sure. Kianari then, the likeable Japanese. So the results then, still to be confirmed, but these are the provisional results. Ryoichi Kianari with a fine win from Haslam and Lavilla. That makes the championship look great. Front row of the grid, pole position goes to Carl Harris, Leon Haslam, Ryoichi Kianari and Johnny Ray. So 3 Hondas on the front row with one of the Ducatis. Then Shane Byrne, Tommy Hill, Michael Rutter and Gregorio Lavilla, only 8. A lot of tension on that front row now. Harris, Haslam, Kianari and Ray. Who's going to get the drop? Oh, a little bit of a creep there from one of the Airways Ducati boys, but no big problem as Kianari makes it 2 out of 2 down to turn 1. Absolutely superb, and it's his teammate right alongside him, Carl Harris, and a fist in the air, if only here in the commentary position at the moment. Tony Carter's excited about that. Harris, maybe he's got over his Oulton Park gremlins, looking real good there. Johnny Ray goes through into 3rd place. 3 Hondas at the front of the Bennett's British Superbike race. Wow, you wouldn't have got long odds on that earlier on today, that's for sure. Haslam taking a look at 4th place if he can. It's a Stobart bike there in 5th place at the moment. Must be Lavilla, I think it is.
It's Blade.
It's Rutter. You're right, it is Rutter. Michael Rutter has come through as well. Why do I sound surprised? He needs a great ride, and Oulton Park is his kind of track. Maybe he can make it work for him. Tommy Hill, I think, is just behind Rutter. It's Byrne. No, Byrne is there as well. Lavilla down in 7th place, but it's the 2 HM Plant Hondas leading the Red Bull Honda. Then it is 91. Leon Haslam from 3. Rutter. Looking like Hill just going under Rutter. Hill has just gone under Rutter and pinched that place from him. Flip-flop through hisses. Now we're on to Knickerbrook and up and over Clay Hill. Shaky Burns looking at the rear end of Rutter now as they come over the hill. But 2 HM Plant boys go through. No, it is Hill still got that place. Yes, Hill has got that place well and truly. There he is, Tommy Hill. He was brilliant in race 1, albeit only to half distance. Had a technical problem midway through the race. Got it sorted now. I'll tell you what, Carl Harris is going to have a right old go early on here, isn't he? It's a freight train of superbikers up on towards Druids now. Shane Byrne looks pretty good to me as he chases Tommy Hill, but through go the 2 HM Plant boys. That's the Red Bull Rookies one. Well, Red Bull Rookie was a Red Bull Rookies. Red Bull Honda now, of course, Johnny Ray. Behind him, Leon Haslam on a 91 bike. Then it's the 8 bike of Tommy Hill. Then 67, the blue Rizla Suzuki of Shane Shaky Byrne. No jump starts come up on our screen. Nothing to interfere with a great superbike race.
Johnny Ray is only 19 years old, so you could be classing him as a rookie. I mean, amongst this sort of company out there, he would definitely fall under that remit, but not based on performance alone. Look at him out there, drifting all the way to the edge of the curb. Absolutely fantastic in 3rd place.
Onto Island Bend now. Fantastic left-hand corner. The 2 HM Plant Hondas just easing away. Riding shotgun for them is Johnny Ray. And round the outside comes Tommy Hill into the braking area. Blast up the inside, but he won't be able to pull that back down. Johnny Ray takes the inside line. I'll tell you, that's the great thing about that bank that you can ride up there at Shell, because you can run right up the hill with the brakes on and still pull it back down. But Johnny Ray didn't need another invitation to slot back in a 3rd place.
Leon Haslam was doing that from a long way back, wasn't he? We've seen him do it time and time again. Be absolutely right. Johnny Ray had all the bases covered. Shane Shaky Byrne now looking up the inside of Tommy Hill, not on the brakes there going into the chicane.
Do you know what? I must have been willing Tommy Hill to do this particular manoeuvre, because it was, of course, Leon Haslam up the inside. And this is where we saw Leon, along with Lavilla in race 1, have a little bit of a struggle to pull it down there, if you remember as well, when Lavilla was putting him under pressure. So Leon just running up that hill a little bit. Billy McConnell, the other Virgin Mobile Yamaha, has come down. Billy McConnell already behind the tyres. Haslam gets under. Will he pull it down to the apex? He does this time, but straight on it, Johnny Ray. I think that's it. The old Ducati thunders its way up onto the front straight and under our box here. The 2 HM Plant Hondas have gone now. We'll see what Haslam's made of. He knows he's got to get away as well, because Shane Byrne is going to be all over Johnny Ray in just a second or two. Ray takes a look over his shoulder and sees Shane Byrne not quite in his rear view mirrors, but pretty much there now. Shane Byrne has really made up great time. Let's have a look at the times he put in 35.8 last time round. That's his personal best, not quite the quickest out on the racetrack, but Shane Byrne is one of the movers and shakers as it is at the moment. Lavilla too has done a 36.9, quite a long way off the pace, back in 7th place at the moment. Tell you what, Gregorio Lavilla, whatever he said in race 1, just didn't look to me like he quite had the appetite for it. He used up his tyre in the early part of the race, having to make up for a bad start. That, of course, with tyre degradation late on in the race is always an issue with a superbike. But Is he just a little bit off it, or is it bike setup? We will never know. Michael Laverty, I can tell you, is down. Michael Laverty, there he is. Michael Laverty pushes the Stobart Honda across. Whether that was a fall or a technical problem, can't tell you from the rear view light. Now we're getting a report that Lavilla is going to be pulling in. It's that bad that Lavilla is looking like he's going to be coming in pit lane at the moment. So Lavilla has a disaster at the moment. We're on lap 8 of 17. Championship leader, but not for much longer. Gregorio Lavilla. Gregorio Lavilla for the first time this year. There he is, cruising around the racetrack. Gregorio Lavilla. I can't imagine what the problem is, but certainly that is a cruise. It's ticking over. You can hear the motorcycle rumbling away. Can't see any smoke, can't see any problem. But Lavilla's coming in. What a disaster for Airwaves here.
Talk about an indication of how luck has changed. From the last 5 races, Gregorio Lavilla has taken 37 points. From the last 5 races, Ryuichi Kianari has taken 100 points.
It's an incredible stat. 7 wins out of 10 Gregorio Lavilla had, and since that, has hardly made any points up. So it's been a disastrous 3 rounds for him. And Oulton Park, having been the double winner here, of course, last year, he just cannot make anything work for him. Ryuichi Kianari was the double winner 2 years ago here. And at the moment, the man he's got to beat is his teammate. I wonder what the old team orders are saying as far as this is concerned, because Ryuichi Kianari is right in for taking this championship lead in this race if Carl Harris stays behind him and keeps Haslam behind there. I know you're doing the maths again, so hopefully I'll be right in that slight guess that I've just put front. It's a guesstimate from Ewan.
Bear with me, Mr. Hugh, and I shall get back to you with the figures.
There he is. Lavilla sat down, looking disconsolate. Won't even take his helmet off to talk to anybody at this point. Let's take a look at this then. Through comes Carl Harris as we're at the chicane now. I think this is what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh.
He just got himself in a bit of a flip-flop problem there. Managed to stay on the tarmac, so it hasn't cost him too dearly, but really that's made him work very hard. Did he trip himself up on the brakes, or did he actually clip the rear end of Johnny Ray? I'm glad we got that shot anyway. It might have looked a bit haphazard, but the fact is that we did actually know exactly what he did in the end there. So 67 Shane Byrne, that's what he did. Made a bit of a mess at his. Up and over Hilltop then, 2 and 9. Ryuichi Kianari, Carl Harris, the 2 HM Plant Honda riders. John Jones from HM Plant, beneficiary of Honda, looks after Honda. As we're on lap 13 of 17. Just looking at the times, 1:36.088 for Kianari, 1:36.10 for Haslam. Nothing in it between first and third place men. Haslam just not able to make any inroads into these two up front. Well, we were treated to a lovely demonstration of George Beale's Honda 6 during the interval before this race. Magnificent 6-cylinder 250cc 1960s machine, pulling something like 20,000 RPM earlier on for the aficionados. It was a wonderful moment. Now, as if to celebrate that, Carl Harris, look at a big black line he left after he came out the dirt with the rear end spinning. You are a monkey, Carlo. Kianari, new lap record. Well, he just keeps popping them in, doesn't he? 1:35.436 on lap 13. Now then, we're looking back. There's a couple of Hydrex Hondas in there. Gary Mason in front of Glenn Richards. Then it's 15. That is Ben Wilson on the Vivaldi bike. Right behind him, 46. Is that Ollie Bridewell?
Steve played. Ollie Bridewell, yes.
Yeah, 99
Sorry,
is.
and then Steve Plater.
Yeah, Steve Plater is on the 99 Rizza Suzuki. I'm just looking to see Ollie Bridewell qualified down on the 6th row of the grid, so he's having a great ride at the moment. If I didn't misidentify him, let's have a look. It is Bridewell in front of Plater, 99. Coxell on bike 41. 74 is Clear and Clark, but a long way behind these guys. It's Coxell on the back of this. Craig Coxell, likeable Aussie on the Hawk Kawasaki. Missing, of course, Dean Thomas, their team leader, the Australian. If you're looking in, Dean, hope everything's mending well for you. Carly Rathmell's been keeping us abreast of your injuries. I'm sure you'd prefer to be here. As up the inside goes Glenn Richards. He was a faller on the Hydrex Honda in race 1. Now he's in front of his teammate Gary Mason in race 2. Good little gaggle here going for it. Ben Wilson, good style, Ben Wilson. It's an unusual style on the Vivaldi bike. He is the best of the Vivaldi boys since Scott Smart pulled in. And then his teammate Ollie Bridewell behind him, I think, on the 46 bike.
Well, Gary Mason's trying to get back on terms with Glenn Richards. He's got some good drive out of there. Not close enough, though, for this time into Shell.
Chris Martin extending his lead in the Superbike Cup status on the PR Branson Honda. Martin on the 68 bike. in front of Howie Mainwaring on the track and in the championship. We're on the last lap already. We are on the final lap. These guys have yet to come across the line. Kianari by 1.5 seconds from Harris, by 3.7 seconds in front of Haslam in third place. Johnny Ray's a further 3.5 seconds back. Byrne is in fifth place. Hill is in sixth place. Rutter has gone through the trap in seventh place, all on his own. Very lonely indeed. And these guys are just starting their last lap now. So as they head off down the avenue and onto Denton's, still Kianari well and truly in control of this race. And if it stays like this, according to my mathematician journalist beside me, Mr. Carter, Ryoichi Kianari will be on 274 points, 5 points in front of Leon Haslam on 269. And Gregorio Lavilla slips 9 points further back on 260. Oh, here we go. Well, if you're going to beat anybody, you've got to beat your teammate. And Gary Mason on the Hydrex Honda's just gone in front of Glenn Richards, and looking for a way past still was Ben Wilson as well. It is on the last corner, number 2, Ryoichi Kianari, as he comes into Lodge Corner, drops down into Deer Leap, comes to the line, onto the rev limiter, waves at the checkered flag. It's a 1-2 for HM Plant Honda. Carl Harris wheelies over the line in front of Leon Haslam. He's still going to have to wait for his first win this year, as is Johnny Ray, comes through in fourth place. Fifth, after that mistake at the chicane, is Shane Shaky Byrne. Looking back to sixth place, it will be Tommy Hill that comes through in a moment. Wait for Hill to come through. Hill and Rutter have come through. Hill's gone through, Rutter's next. Then it's this bunch. Who's it going to be then? This is the battle for 8th place. Mason holds on to it. Richards will be in 9th place, or will he? No, through has gone Glenn Richards. A mistake by Gary Mason. And at the line, surely not. Wilson, did he get it? Richards gets 8th place. Wilson gets 9th place. Wilson did also sneak through on that mistake by Gary Mason. Gary Mason, I think, gets 10th place. Yes, he does. 11th goes Plater. Bridewell goes 12th. Ryoichi Kianari, a stunning double for the Japanese rider here. Absolutely fantastic, and a new lap record to him as well. Kyo is back at the top of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. Will he be king in 2006?